Everyone knows Electronic is an incredibly talented player within the Na'Vi roster at the moment. His movement and the way he likes to position himself around the map is incredibly annoying to play against. He's very unpredictable, always changing up his pace and positioning, and often finding holes in the defense where he can put himself in incredibly advantageous situations in a lot of his gunfights. So I want to break down a little bit what he does on the T side of Train, a map with a lot of freedom, and how he often does create these amazing opportunities for himself and the rest of the Na'Vi team.
In a team sport, finding good teammates is crucial. Join a community of 700,000 users on DreamTeam to search for players who play for fun, play competitively, or want to go pro. Register on DreamTeam.gg today and stop playing with teammates who kill everything except the enemy. Find players, improve skills, and manage teams. DreamTeam.gg, the ultimate team building and skill growing platform.
Hey guys, what is going on? We're going to be starting off with a relatively simple play here from Electronic. The reason I included it is I like the fact that he's able to vary up his positioning based on where he spawns. So often we'll see him going at T-Con. We'll talk about that more a little bit in a second. But in this scenario here, he's going to go fast down ladder with a nice little flash, which as I said is one of the main reasons I included this, is because I like this flash. It's a little extra bit of insurance almost as you are going fast in this position, as players like to do. So unfortunately he misses it, but normally you could see he'd drop as that flashes, and there wouldn't really be any concern for him if anyone was playing aggressive in this area of the map. Now right now he knows they're pretty aggressive up here towards the top part of the brown hole or white hole area. One thing I like is he's not just focused on someone dropping down and flanking him. He's peeking out, he's making sure the T side or CT side can't get any extra ground. You can see he catches Mo trying to do exactly that. And this whole time he's also feeding information to Zeus. I don't see anyone, I'm not sure where they're playing. Once Dozier does find Zeus, however, knows Electronic boxes him quite well. He knows where his position has to be. He's going to adjust his own positioning so that Dozier is completely pre-aiming the wrong spot, and he's not really sure where he has to look. So finishes off nice with Dozier. A 3k, admittedly on an eco, but I like the fact that he doesn't worry about backs too much. We'll see players, often amateur players, I love to just focus. I don't want to get flanked. I don't want to get anyone shoot me in the back. You see, he finds a nice variation there, catching Mo trying to get aggressive into the T-Con area. To throw that flash by Electronic, it's pretty simple. Just hug this wall here. And then once you hit this shower divider here, it's going to run forward, aim in the middle of the door, hard of the handle, and just let go after a little bit of a run, then drop. So it's going to look a little bit something like this. Run forward, aim there, look up, and fall. Otherwise you blind yourself. I see a lot of people, they want to see where they're going. They're going to run over this hole and go, oh, I'm going to drop, and you're going to full white yourself. So make sure you're looking up like Electronic was, and you're dropping pretty much at this crosshair level the entire way down the hole. Now, as I alluded to a couple of minutes earlier, Electronic does like to go aggressive at T-Con if he gets the good spawn, such as in this scenario here. It's a great way to really mix up your play because, well, you can't guarantee yourself having the best spawn, so it's almost like the game chooses for you when you can vary up your play going for something like this. You can see in this scenario, he beats the entire big side out here, and they have no idea he's in this position, and you're getting good information in this spot. One, well, you just know there's no one sandwich, so that's great. And there's nowhere for the CTs to clear you out without obviously getting up nice and close towards T-Con, where you could have players watching in positions such as where Flamey is. So there's a bit of risk involved for the CT side to go for that. You're going to see as Electronic starts moving out, this is completely random when you start moving out. Obviously, when you start feeling utility from players such as Big, you're going to have a little bit of a read onto what they're up to. Maybe they're utility in towards ladder because they want to get aggressive up towards T-Con or vice versa. You get a bit of idea of what they might be doing. But he's going to find the timing based on the information he has. And notice right now, this Ivy player, it's so incredibly important as the CTs to have control of Ivy. If you lose Ivy control or any eyes on Ivy, you're going to be in real struggle town to hold this site because CT or T players can just crunch at you from all directions. So Electronic's going to take this kill as soon as he gets it. Understand that also one player could rotate back around here from bomb train because he heard Smuya moving there. He's going to find that kill, then understand where the next player is most likely going to be. It's going to be next, and he's going to get taken out. And you can see that he has created so much space for Zeus. He can run just inspecting his weapon, knife out, straight into this player because he knows he's taken out a very critical player in the CT defense. So if you can find this player creeping out into the position, obviously normally called Olov because he's very famous for doing that, you're going to open up a lot of space for your players. Now, unfortunately for Electronic, Zeus doesn't AWP very often, so he's going to miss a bit of a sitter. Nice little fast peek from Tizian. But yeah, you see the space he definitely created for his team. And going out Olov, you get good information as well that there's no one in sandwich. I'll show a clip in a second where he could have definitely found a kill and someone trying to get aggressive, trying to clear out Olov, or trying to just play that more aggressive sandwich position. But Edward wins as a clutch. Often not one of the best players for Na'Vi, but he does a good job in this scenario here. 1v2 on this on either side of train. There's a lot of obviously trains for you to play around and make yourself disappear. So you can see Edward's able to constantly reposition himself and make things very difficult for the CT side. You can see Tizian has no idea where he's gone. He's going to find the kill onto Tizian, and he's just moved again. This is one of the big things about trainers. It's so incredibly hard to find players in this after plant position, and Spooner has no real option besides to smoke it and try and stick the bomb. So Edward does a good job moving around those trains, making himself unpredictable. And I thought since this entire video is about being annoying and unpredictable, I'd include that clip anyway. And even in an execute, which is normally relatively set, Electronic's going to be this X factor where you're not always exactly sure what's going to be going on. Such as this B execute by Na'Vi. Normally, stand and execute, you smoke down the ramp, you wait for it to pop, so that any AWP proceeding towards the back, such as Cirque would probably be rotating in relatively fast, isn't going to find you, they're going to be smoked off, a lot harder for them to hit that shot. Where Electronic's going to be this one player, he's going to drop before the smoke. So any CT thinking I'm going to molly the ramp as this smoke comes in from Na'Vi, they're going to be punished for it. So you're going to see exactly what happens in this scenario. Electronics ready. 3, 2, 1, smoke. I'm going to peek before it, do a lot of damage on those two players, find the kill onto Ethan. And then he's going to keep pushing through this smoke and walk out right now. But one thing I love about what he's doing is he understands there's not a whole lot of angles he can be exposed to, especially after finding that one kill. The rest of his team are ready to come out here onto the A site, so anyone playing on top of like these trains, oil train or the yellow train to his right here, they're probably going to be traded quite quickly because they're in a very exposed position. So Electronics able to push up here. Basically, once he passes this angle, he's really only exposed to this one position where Cirque decides to jump peek, and he also gets information to where Fugly is. Simple can take him out. So things very difficult right now for NRG because Electronic creates so much space. He's going to be this one player walking through smokes. This big X factor in the thing gets taken out by Breezy eventually, but all the information is there for Zeus. So he's going to be walking down this lane a lot of the time. You're going to see another example right now. Again, in this scenario here, Electronic, not the first player down, is going to be the player getting aggressive, creating this space for his teammates, and making the rotations incredibly difficult for Fnatic in this particular situation. You see he's creeped up behind this smoke, even less angles exposed to. JW's fully focused on getting in here towards the bomb site. Before that molly, I really like that one because it cuts off a lot of movement here from existing. Over his point of view, he's not in a smoke. But you see, it just basically limits him from coming back and checking behind in the position where Electronic is right now. So he knows this is going to affect where he could possibly be. So it's going to be the play you saw in the intro. He's going to go all the way around. And this is probably one of the most annoying things I have seen a player do. If you exist, you're like, all right, I got to find him. Where is this player? You see he's like, I wonder where Electronic's gone. Where is he gone? He could be anywhere around these bomb trains. And again, this is similar to the Edward clutch on the A site. There's so many positions for Exist to check that it becomes very difficult for him, even if Electronic didn't do this, and then he's at the ramp. That is so frustrating for Exist, but I love it from Electronic. So that's one of the plays, that's why I included in the intro. And yeah, I just love that play overall. And the fact that he always pushes those lanes, creating so much space for his teammates when they're hitting this B site is incredibly important. And most teams need someone who's able to do this and create this after plant. Just confusion for the CT side as they're trying to retake onto the B area of the map. Another small piece of utility I saw from Electronic that I really liked is when you go for this upper hit, is he throws this Molotov coming out towards the back of this bomb train here. And all it does is just a great job of denying the rotations in from the CT side. You can see in this scenario here, anyone coming in, like Cirque trying to rotate into the B site, they want to try and lock down to prevent Electronic doing what he'd normally do, push up to this area of the map, push up to these train, or where Edward is behind oil train right now. So they want to try and fan out across this, lock down these laneways so these players can't get aggressive, set up really strong after plans. If you Molotov here and they're rotating in like a player such as Cirque, they're going to struggle to move anywhere, might have to jump off the train, much more exposed in that position. In this particular round here, it doesn't make a huge difference because the rest of NRG have gone quite aggressive down the right-hand side of this lane where Electronic would normally get aggressive, you can see, so he's able to get on top of this bomb train. One thing they didn't account for is the fact that, once again, Edward's trying to steal this video away from Electronic, just clutching out rounds left, right, and center, it seems. So he finds the first three. Honestly, though, it was all the Molotov that allowed him to move into the position he's in, and you can see that it was really just that utility used by Electronic that allowed Edward to do this. But in all seriousness, you shouldn't lose one before NRG kind of throwing. But again, good work by Edward, capitalizing on the mistakes made by NRG. So we've talked about what Electronic likes to do when he goes towards B, those executes depending where he starts, a good spawn towards ladder or T-con. What are his default position? What's out here towards this Ivy position? I like this flash, it's a pretty unique one I haven't seen used before. But the rest of what I'm going to show you now, it's not really unique to Electronic, it's a very standard utility set, but it's one definitely useful if you're going to be this player on the T side. It's going to be one to deny a lot of information from the CT side. So it's going to be this smoke here, followed by a Molotov onto the right-hand side. You can see what this looks like from the CT's perspective. You can see they have no information what's coming down Ivy right now, and it becomes very difficult for them. There could be a whole lot of Na'Vi players gathering up behind this, ready to explode into this area of the map, go for some kind of A-split. Again, I told you how critical this Ivy position was earlier in this video, but there's no one there. We're going to see exactly how it affects the big rotations when this eventual B execute once again comes in from the side of Na'Vi. So you can see they're all down here, they're getting aggressive. This time Electronic does wait for the smoke and the flash, so again, slight variance as to what we've seen before. And you see this whole time, they know this is a B execute, but look at Smooya. He's not sure if there's anyone over here. Ivy, is there a lurker out here? And it really just slows down everything from big in general. You can see eventually he's going to decide, all right, now I'm going to go. But once again, he's Electronic. He's picked a different path to get up here and nice and annoying. He's going to find tabs that gets picked off in this scenario. But again, you can see always this pressure being applied by Electronic. But some of this clip's really bad. I want to show you that just that utility set's a really good one. To really, you can explode behind it, as I said, or you can completely disappear and make the CT side very concerned about that particular position of the map. And this last clip, again, he has a good spawn Electronic, but it's going to be the way he uses his positioning to again create space for his teammates, not overextending, staying alive for as long as possible, and this allows his teammates to move into position. So obviously he gets that nice and fast here towards this new box position, spots the player in Electro, but notice he's not fighting straight away. He's flashing, he's molotoving the site, he's peeking out, he's going to find Reza with a couple of shots, but notice he's slow and he comes back and extends. And look at what this has done for the rest of his team. Both Simple and Flame able to get up here more aggressive. You can see there's no one towards this side of the A site right now because Electronic's drawing so much attention. Obviously the utility from the rest of Na'Vi helps, but Electronic does a great job of staying alive and not going down. Because if he goes down right now, it creates a little bit more freedom for the CTs to potentially move around. You see Flamey finds one from the position we saw before. And yeah, so just not overextending, not dying to res at the very beginning makes things a lot more difficult for the rest of NIP, and even though he loses that fight, he does a relatively good job into this round. You see just all that utility throws is very good for denying information, smokes and mollies and nades onto the site. But that is it for this video, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy this kind of content, and I'll catch you all in the next video.